Hello, NBA fans. Every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I ask for your help by subscribing to the channel and giving me your thumbs up. The Lakers were criticized for bringing back center Jackson Hayes, but throughout the season the player has improved his level of play and helped the Lakers win several games, becoming an important piece in the rotation. Jackson Hayes' return is proving important for the Lakers this season. Lakers have been quietly vindicated for their polarizing Jackson Hayes decision. Bringing back the backup center has worked out for the Los Angeles Lakers. There have been plenty of frustrating experiences during Jackson Hayes' time with the Los Angeles Lakers. There was enough for the franchise to consider looking elsewhere in the 2025 offseason. Instead, Rob Pelinka gave him another shot, and the results, so far, have been remarkably steady. Hayes left a rough final impression before 2025 free agency on the Lakers. The high-flying center was played off the court in the first-round series loss against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Foul trouble plagued Hayes and J.J. Redick quickly appeared to lose trust in his starting big man. In spite of those results, Pelinka inked Hayes to a one-year deal. This time, the former lottery pick could return to a backup role with the arrival of DeAndre Ayton. That adjustment proved to be the necessary one. In those controlled doses off the bench, Hayes is having his best year with the Lakers. The chemistry with Luka Doncic on the offensive end remains strong, and the issues with fouling on the defensive end have quietly been reduced. Jackson Hayes is delivering the exact value Lakers need at backup center. The Lakers could have easily expended trade capital to acquire a more proven backup center and been justified for it. Hayes has rewarded them for opting against that route. The Lakers center is averaging 5.5 points and 4.1 in 17.7 minutes per game off the bench. Hayes' ability to finish the gift-wrapped scoring opportunities he has handed shines through again and again. The explosive center is shooting a career-high 72.7% from the field. Hayes has an offensive rating of 144 per 100 possessions, according to Basketball Reference. Excluding Adou Thiero, who has barely played for the Lakers, that is the highest mark on the team. Defensively, Hayes has averaged a career-best 4.5 personal fouls per 100 possessions. That is a significant decrease from 2024 to 25, when the Lakers center was posting 6.1 in that category. Hayes has also registered 161 win shares per 48 minutes and a plus-minus net of 2.3 per 100 possessions. The short version of all that is being said with these figures would be that there has been some real value to be found with the minutes Los Angeles gets from him. The Lakers have even asked Hayes to start twice this season. Both performances were solid and the team walked away victorious each time. If the Lakers do choose to invest further into the frontcourt during 2025-26, it will be out of luxury, not necessity. Hayes has done an admirable job down low for Los Angeles thus far. J.J. Redick reveals expectations for new Lakers addition. Los Angeles Lakers coach J.J. Redick is excited to see what the team's latest addition, Drew Timm, is going to bring to the table. Redick has set his expectations for the Gonzaga standout, who was signed to a two-way contract on November 24. Speaking to reporters a day after Timm was signed, Redick discussed what Timm would add to the Lakers. He praised the big man's ability to make plays on the block, as well as his other skills like shooting and rebounding. He is tremendously skilled offensively. We haven't really had a big here as a hub, as like a passing guy that you can kind of play out of the high post with. Anthony Davis, to an extent, but a lot of the stuff we ran for him in those spots was to get him a shot and not to be a playmaker. The thing that's kind of underrated with him is his defensive rebounding is really good, particularly for his size. He's produced at every level and looking forward to coaching him, Redick said, via Kobe Price of the Orange County Register. Timm made his Lakers debut against the Los Angeles Clippers on Tuesday during garbage time. He scored his first bucket in purple and gold colors, and added a steal in just a minute of action. LeBron James compares Redick to legendary coach. Before becoming a head coach, J.J. Redick learned under some great mentors as a player, like Stan Van Gundy with the Orlando Magic, Doc Rivers with the Los Angeles Clippers, Brett Brown with the Philadelphia 76ers, Alvin Gentry with the New Orleans Pelicans and Rick Carlisle with the Dallas Mavericks. However, Redick's greatest mentor is arguably Mike Krzyzewski, who was his coach at Duke University. LeBron James even compared him to Coach K on a recent episode of the Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash. It's been no sugarcoating with the coaches that put him in the position that he's in today. I had an opportunity to play for Coach K a couple of times. Coach K, there's no sugarcoating. He's gonna tell you exactly how he feels if you're not doing it right. But it's going to be in a very stern, but loving way, James said, via NBA Analysis. LeBron James can't fully silence Lakers doubters until December. The first real tests will come in the first week of December for the Los Angeles Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers are 3-0 since LeBron James returned to the lineup. Those 3 wins came against underwhelming competition, seamlessly writing the narratives of skepticism for all the critics. James and the Lakers will not get an opportunity to extinguish that doubt until December. The first 3 wins of the 2025-26 season that featured James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves all available came against the Utah Jazz, twice, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Neither of those 2 teams will be viewed as reputable competition for Lakers naysayers. Any of the numbers or results from those contests will be treated as easy wins for those who have already made their minds up about the Lakers being pretenders. The rest of the month really won't offer an opportunity to change that tune either. However, that opportunity will not elude the Lakers forever. December dominance can paint the Lakers as bona fide contenders. One of the numbers on this season that really stands out, in a concerning way, is the Lakers' net rating thus far. Despite their impressive record of 13-4, a mark of only 3.2 in that category puts them at 14th in the NBA. During the 3 games that have featured LeBron, that number bumps up to 10.0, trailing only the dominant Oklahoma City Thunder and surging Orlando Magic during that span. Again, the criticism will be that the Lakers played 2 of the 5 worst teams in the Western Conference standings. Funny enough, that much will not change about the rest of the schedule in November. The Lakers play the disappointing Dallas Mavericks on November 28 and the downright dreadful New Orleans Pelicans on November 30 to close out the month. The first week of December? There's some real competition there. Before continuing, it should be said that the idea of easy wins is kind of silly. Great teams should beat bad teams, yes. However, there is never a foregone conclusion in the NBA. Every win can be impressive in its own way. That being said, the Lakers will play the Phoenix Suns, Toronto Raptors, Boston Celtics, and Philadelphia 76ers in the first week of December. Each of those teams is currently occupying no worse than a spot in the play-in tournament. If the Lakers walk out of that stretch 4-0, the conversations will be forced to evolve. Even a 3-1 record through that stretch should be met with praise. That would be the hope, at least. Realistically, the Lakers will continue to receive skepticism even if they dominate that week. It's just the nature of being such a popular and polarizing franchise. However, every win from here should help reassure the group inside the building of their upside. That is really what matters most. Marcus Smart injury history. The 31-year-old Smart has been perennially hurt since the Boston Celtics traded him to the Memphis Grizzlies in 2023. The defensive ace played only 20 games in his first season with the Grizzlies and a combined 34 games for the Grizzlies and Washington Wizards in the 2024-25 season. In his first season with the Lakers, Smart has been relatively healthy, missing only 3 of the 17 games thus far. After signing with the Lakers, Smart admitted he was not in great shape playing for lottery-bound teams like the Grizzlies and Wizards, which may have led to injuries. Now that he's playing for a true title contender, Smart is showing flashes of the player who was the best perimeter defender in the league at one point, with the Celtics. A motivated Smart. "I'm very motivated," Smart said after joining the Lakers, via Lakers Nation. "The last 2 years for me was, in my eyes, a disappointment. Injuries kind of stopped me and held me back. But like I told my wife and my family, everything happens for a reason, and it's funny that 12 years ago I could have been here and now it's full circle and I'm here." Like I said, everything happens for a reason, and I just look at those reasons was for me to be here. To not play and for people to look at me and say, maybe he isn't the same, and now that allows me to be in a place where I'm supposed to be. Smart made it clear that his goal was to help LeBron James and Luka Doncic capture a championship in Los Angeles. It's at the top. The main goal, the reason you go out and you compete the way you compete, is to try to win championships. And what better place to be able to do that than here, where the show starts and where the show ends. That was definitely a big part of it, being able to get back on that stage. Being able to get to a team that definitely could use me, and I know I can make an impact and help as well, and that was a perfect fit here. LeBron James compares J.J. Redick to Mike Krzyzewski. Los Angeles Lakers head coach J.J. Redick is in the middle of his second season at the helm of the Purple and Gold. It's also only his second season of coaching at any level, and he's handling a playoff contender featuring superstar Luka Doncic, budding all-star caliber Austin Reeves, and one of the all-time great players in a 40-year-old LeBron James. Balancing all of those things while still learning how to be a coach is certainly a difficult task. But Redick has handled it well, and has done well to make general manager Rob Pelinka look like he made a wise investment in plucking Redick away from ESPN. In year 2, Redick is still establishing exactly what type of culture he's trying to set for the Lakers and is still perfecting his style of coaching. But LeBron, who has seen a significant number of elite head coaches over his 23 years in the NBA, sees similarities to some all-time greats in Redick, via Mind the Game with Steve Nash. You look at JJ's career as a basketball player, all the way from high school, he's been a winner his whole life. And he's been taught the game the right way. It's been no sugarcoating from the coaches that's put him in the position that he's in today. I had an opportunity to play for Coach K a couple times, and with Coach K, there's no sugarcoating. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels if you're not doing it right. But it's going to be in a very stern but loving way, like it's not how he says it, it's about how you accept it. And if you take what he says or how he says it personal, then you're going to lose sight of the messaging. And I think, with JJ, he's kind of the same way. Right to the point, no sugarcoating, like listen, this is how we want to play. And if I'm seeing possessions or I'm seeing things not up to our standard and what the coaching staff is putting out there, I'm going to show you my reaction. And it's not to down you, it's about helping you to understand what we're trying to build long term. And I can respect that, I love that. I mean, I come from the old school guy in Keith Dambrett, who was my first high school coach. If you was doing the three-man weave wrong, he'd kick your ass out of practice. Redick is one of the most notable players to come out of Coach Mike Krzyzewski's Duke University program, and brought that style of play with him everywhere he went during his successful NBA career. So it stands to reason he's doing the same as a head coach. Coach K's style was wildly successful in college, as he is one of the greatest coaches in the history of college basketball, and it even worked at the helm of Team USA men's basketball, leading James and other great superstars. But now, Redick is helping to bring that style to the regular NBA, and seems to also have some early success. Bronny James loves basketball, but LeBron James has strict fire plan for his son. Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James reveals what he'll never do for his son, Bronny James. When Bronny James declared for the NBA draft, it was no surprise when the Los Angeles Lakers selected him. However, it was abundantly clear during his rookie season that Bronny didn't share his father, LeBron James' flair for the game of basketball. Keeping that in mind, the 4x NBA champion recently shared a message for his eldest son. LeBron James says Bronny James loves the game of basketball. With career averages of 2.2 points, 0.7 rebounds, and 1.1 assists per game, it's obvious that Bronny has a long way to go before earning consistent minutes on the Lakers. Even though LBJ is on the same team, the 40-year-old revealed that Bronny needs to walk his own journey in the NBA. I mean, he loves the game, and that's what's most important, and he loves the work, you know, and there's no substitution for hard work. I just want him to, you know, he has to walk his own journey, James said on the Mind the Game podcast. That's the right attitude from the 4x NBA MVP. After all, if he protects Bronny from working hard, it will lead to a quick exit from the league. What will be the best teacher for Bronny James, reveals LeBron James. Forget making things easy for Bronny. The Lakers captain wants his son to go through a rough path to become successful. Of course, James is ready to provide the blueprint, but that's pretty much it. I can give him the blueprint, and I can give him some of the things that I've seen, but I want him to walk through the fire as well, LeBron continued. He concludes, stating, I think that's going to be the best teacher for him to be able to go through these experiences and come out the best way he knows how. Will Bronny manage to follow his father's advice, or will he be out of the league before that? Only time will tell.